coming up on the Sports Desk. At home, the Warriors can't get the W, while the Elko Warriors claim their third straight win. We crash an ECC football practice with alum, former NFLer / current CFL player Ivan McLennan. Bishop Montgomery girls basketball, too, was graced with a pro this week, Brianna Stewart. Girls volleyball continues to kill it on the courts. The Lady Saxons tackle tennis. The Tartars girls golf team has reason to be proud. This Torrance-area family laces up their rollerblades together. One West High runner breaks a school record. Plus, when an El Camino College professor / swimmer breaks a world record in swimming, you know I have to have her in studio. She's coming up. We've got the who, what, where, when, why, and how. Let's get things started right now. Hey guys, welcome to the Sports Desk, your one source for all things Torrance sports. I am your host, Lesley Robins, bringing you a gateway to the brightest sports stars and hottest sports spots in Torrance. Before we get to the good stuff, we want to hear from you. Here are the social media stats. I'm at Lesley Mia. The show is at the Sports Desk TV. We've got email, Facebook. Tell us what's going on and what we need to know, because when it comes down to it, this show is all about you. Now let's get you in the know with some numbers. Week 5 in football had some very tough to swallow moments, as none of our Torrance schools took home a W this week. Starting with West High, the team is now 0-5 after having a rough night against our neighbor Redondo, falling 33-12. Cameron Stelly was there.
Well, Lesley, West High Warriors in action tonight against Redondo Union, and it was a battle of the defenses as both teams held each other to just 6 points in the first 2 quarters, making it a quiet first half. The first possession for the Warriors, and Camden Bendick is picked off by Dylan Juarez. Then on the Seahawks drive, Baron Gaunt comes up with the sack on quarterback Daniel Webb for a big loss for Redondo. West gets on the board first with a touchdown from Joseph Tinna. Then late in the second, the Seahawks take it to the end zone for a TD from Carson Crouch, tying the game up. But following halftime, Redondo Union took control. Webb goes off and scores 3 straight touchdowns for the Seahawks, and the Warriors just aren't able to respond. The Seahawks win it 33-12. Here's what the Warriors had to say about the tough loss.
We're just not physical enough towards the end. The second half, they decided to come out and be more physical, and then we couldn't handle it. And we missed tackles. We missed assignments. We're still very young guys. It's not my style of football, and we need to get better.
We started off strong. We're hitting hard. We're playing hard, and then it just slipped away from us. Defense was on the field too long, and we just get tired. Nothing happened after half. We felt pretty good, and then they just started running the ball. Defense started getting tired, and offense wasn't on the field. So we just gotta keep working.
North was off this week, but as for the away games, the Spartans couldn't get past El Segundo, falling 23-3, putting them at 3-2 overall. The Tartars took on the Vikings, and 2 fell short, 33-14. They are now 0-5, while Bishop Montgomery also lost to Calvary Chapel by a score of 49-21. They are also 0-5. Well, over at El Camino, the Warriors continue to dominate on the football field, winning again to improve to 3-1. Justin Thompson was at their latest home game against Orange Coast College.
Thanks, Lesley. A little cold weather was not going to slow down this blazing hot ECC football team. Ranked 14th in the state, and for good reason. After putting up 70 points last week, they dominated OCC here today 21-3. We'll get the highlights going right now. Big play for ECC late in the first quarter here as Aaron Hatfield bursts through the line to block the punt, and he scoops it up to give the Warriors offense great starting field position. Here's what the sophomore linebacker had to say about the play.
It's a big momentum booster for our offense. They were struggling a little bit, so we got to give them as much help as they need. I have all faith in our offense, but if we could get them help, let's help them out.
Well, the offense took advantage 2 plays later with this nice pass from Jermaine Gatoy to Corey Payne for 6 points, and the Warriors were up 7-0 after the PAT. ECC's defense was swarming all game. Perhaps no better example than this goal line stand to end the first half and preserve the Warriors' 7-0 lead. Here's Julian Lewis talking about the defense.
As far as the defense, I feel like we could dominate more. It's always room for improvement. So I think we could dominate more on the defensive side. On the offensive side, you know, they get it together with time. But defense, definitely, we got to dominate more. I think we made a lot of mistakes, a lot of missed tackles. But other than that, though, we'll get it right.
So on to the second half we go, where it was the Keyshawn Dupree show. The freshman running back punched in 2 touchdowns in the second half. Here's what Keyshawn had to say about his big game.
All I see was an easy hole. The line opened up a gap for me to go in every time. And then we always get help from our defense, help us out on our formations and stuff. So when they helped us out and let me lead through and get touchdowns.
The only points ECC allowed came from this field goal towards the end of the third quarter, and the Warriors would come away with a 21-3 victory. That's 3 wins in a row now for the El Camino football team.
There were some great things that we did out there. We have to continue to improve, execute in all 3 phases. There were some bright spots in all 3 phases, but I'd like to see us be more consistent and continue to grow and develop and mature as a football team. We're not there yet.
The confidence is up, but like I said, there's always room for improvement. So when we get to where I think we can actually execute how we want to, then I think we'll be breaking all type of records.
We want to do everything the right way. We want to recruit good players and good people. We want to help them become better students, better players, and better football players, and help them move forward. So, you know, the way they act, the way they present themselves is important to us. We think you can be successful winning football games and act the right way.
A few days before that Elko game, we hit up a practice alongside South Bay native, Elko grad, former NFLer / current CFL Calgary Stampeder, Ivan McLennan. He was on site sharing his experiences playing pro football and handing out his very own trading cards.
Ivan was right in your shoes. Be honest, Ivan. Ivan, there's guys that are taller than Ivan. There's guys that might be bigger than Ivan, but faster than Ivan. But Ivan does 2 things. One is, nobody outworks this guy. His work ethic is top of the line. And the next thing is, he always has a positive attitude. Those are the 2 reasons that he's getting paid to play this game.
The longer you play this game, the more it tests your love, the more it tests your will, the more you face with adversity in a sense. So I told him, man, you got to be able to face adversity. That's one. You got to have fun with the game too, man. Like, yeah, you can get caught up in the X's and O's, coaches cussing at you, man, because I had a lot of that. And, you know, it could be overwhelming, but at the same time, if you have the love for the game, man, that's going to push you forward to do great things. Can't stop on your dream, dude. Like, you know, just because, you know, it just didn't go right the first time, man, you got to keep pursuing it, because I could have easily just stopped. I could have easily just went to get a 9-to-5, which is nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with having a 9-to-5. But, you know, while I'm young, while I'm in my 20s, I want my 9-to-5 to be football, you know, and that's my biggest advice. If you 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, however old you are, man, keep pursuing it, because you never know what's going to happen, man. You never know what's going to happen. Don't stop it. If you love something, go pursue it, man, because if you don't want to have that regret at the end of your life or at the end of the day, like, man, I should have, could have, would have. When I was in high school, you know, I was kind of timid. I started my freshman year, started playing football, so you're kind of timid at first, and then gradually over the years, you learn how to hit, you learn how to the pad level, the proper technique, and you gain that confidence, you know. So honestly, I feel like the more confidence you build, the easier the game is. The less confidence you have, the harder it is. I'm a JUCO kid, so me going to the CFL from the NFL and me trying to get back to the NFL is just what I'm used to, you know. I'm used to, like, grinding and out, being the underdog.
When he was here, he was a little skinny guy that ran fast, and he's put his work in to get to where he wants to be. The best thing about Ivan is he turned out to be a great young man. You know what I mean? He's a future leader, and that's what we try to strive to do here, is not only educate these kids to go to school and be good football players, but to also be good leaders and good people. And it's just great to see him come back and have the opportunity to play for some money, you know what I mean? And he works extremely hard. And it's just good to have him around the program to show these kids that anything's possible. Ivan ran fast. Ivan was fast. Ivan was a violent football player. Ivan understood the game. He had a great football IQ. And it's just, he was all over the place. You know, you didn't have to tell Ivan to slow down. You'd have to tell Ivan to stop. Yeah, he was an awesome football player, awesome young man.
What's the word?
Always the word.
What's the word?
Always the word.
What's the word?
Always the word.
Words on me, words on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Warriors.
Okay, coming up, another professional athlete stops by one of our high schools, this time on the Knights basketball court. Roller hockey with your parents, volleyball kills it around town. The Tartars take to the green, the Saxons tackle tennis, while one West runner breaks a school record. Speaking of, an El Camino professor just broke the world record in her swim class, and she is here in studio with me. Stay tuned.
I pledge.
I pledge.
I pledge to treat everyone with respect.
Respect and dignity.
I will not tolerate discrimination
or harassment of any kind.
I will speak up.
I will speak up whenever I know discrimination is happening.
And I will stand up.
Get up.
Rise up. For victims. Take the pledge at risetowin.org.
You just broke the 50 fly world record and the Pan Am game record. Honey, where are you going right now?
Disneyland!
Welcome back to the Sports Desk. Lesley Robins here. That fabulous lady going to the happiest place on earth was master swimmer and El Camino College professor Traci Granger, who is here in studio with me. Welcome to the Sports Desk set.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Great to have you. Now, for those who may have missed what just happened in that clip, you broke a world record in swimming. Not your first time, I might add, but take me back to this most recent win. How did it happen?
I went to a competition back in August in Mission Viejo, and I swam a race, and I had a good race and broke the record.
You sound so humble and nonchalant about it. It's a very big deal. You broke a world record in your age bracket. You are in your 60s.
Correct.
Broke a record. Take me back to the beginning, because this is a really big deal, and I want you to be really excited about it.
I am excited because it's hard to break a record. They're so fast. They're out there to be broken, and I happened to get lucky and break one of them. And I had a pretty good swim. There are things I could have done to be faster. I just have to put them all together sometime.
Now, what stroke is it? Tell everybody about what you're doing in the pool.
So I'm swimming butterfly. It was long course, so 50 meters of butterfly. And it's mainly a quick start, fast swimming, and a good finish. There's not much leeway in there for mistakes.
No, this isn't the first world record that you've broken. So how do you go about doing that? Obviously, you race all the time. You're in a pool all the time. It doesn't just happen like that.
No, it takes practice. I think you need to practice at being fast. You can't, or I surely can't just go out once in a while and be fast. I have to train, and I race my teammates, and we have fun at racing. And then when I go to these competitions and I'm swimming against other women in my age group, and they're from all over the U.S. or all over the world, depending, they're fast. So you have to be ready for that. And you have to put together a good swim to be able to break these records, because they're fast. The times are really quick.
They're very quick. And you mentioned your practice. We're going to get to that in a minute. But you started the competition circuit actually relatively late for a swimmer.
True. I swam growing up.
Right.
I swam through college. Then I didn't swim for like 20 some years. And then I was teaching a lot of aerobic classes at school. And I thought, you know what, this is hard on my feet. So maybe I need to be swimming or doing something that was easier on my body. So I started swimming a little bit in my mid-40s. And I've been swimming master since then.
Wow. And talk about the practice that you have to put in to breaking world records and national records, I might add, and titles.
True. It's, you know what, practice is fun. And we all need to exercise, so that's part of my exercising right there. And it's easier on your body and joints than other forms of exercise I could be doing. And I swim with a fun group of people, and we have some fun, and we get good workouts, and we push each other, so that's all part of it too. And then on occasion, I go to a competition and hopefully have a good meet and swim some good races.
Now, you're using the word fun. Is it true you actually wake up at 4:30 in the morning to practice? That's not fun. Is it fun?
No, you have to go to bed early, or I can't get up that early if I don't go to bed somewhat early. And yes, that is early because 5 a.m. when it's still dark, that's really early.
It's really early. Now you're training here in Torrance as well.
Yes. Yes, here at the plunge at the city pool.
Wow.
There's a group of master swimmers and we swim several days a week at the plunge at 5 a.m. We swim from 5 to 6:30. And some people are late and some people get out early and get to work and, you know, everybody works it in their schedule.
Well, that's part of the charm of winning records and being part of the best is the work ethic and getting places on time and practicing. You're an ECC professor.
True.
Are you instilling this in your students, and do they know how epic and rock star you are, by the way?
Some of them do. Some of them do because someone has told them or they've read or heard about it somewhere and they'll say, oh my gosh, you're a good swimmer. Or so some of them do know these things. And I do try to instill in them, be places on time and come to class on time. And come on, things should be fun. You know, life should be fun. And you're taking classes you should enjoy and like.
So you're instilling pretty much kind of the work ethic you bring to the pool into your students, into the classroom as well. They kind of bleed together, right?
Yes, they do. Or I hope they do.
They do. And so do you get to coach kids at all anymore, or it's just classroom at ECC now?
It's just classroom at ECC.
Yeah.
Although I do have some swimming classes, and so sometimes that's sort of coaching.
Right.
You know, different aspect.
And what makes either a pro swimmer or a record breaker swimmer or a champion swimmer? What makes that type of athlete?
I don't know. It takes practice and it takes perseverance, and I think you need to enjoy what you're doing and you need to make it fun or you'd get burned out and you'd quit doing it. So it is fun. You know, workouts I think are fun. I don't know, you know, it could be that it's just a combination of factors.
Right. So what gets you up in the morning? Literally, what gets you up in the morning before the sun?
I like to start my day with a workout because then I'm finished with it before I go to work.
Right.
And if I had to do it at the end of the day, I don't know if I could do it. I think I'd be too tired at the end of the day and burnt out by dealing with all the things I deal with on a daily basis. So it's sort of nice to do my workout first thing in the morning, have a little camaraderie, sort of put my mind on automatic and be able to swim and not have to worry about it later.
So how has being a world record holder changed you, or has it not? Do you still, you know, go about your day as if nothing's happened, or do you, you know, stand up a little taller every day for it, or not?
No, I don't think I stand up any taller. I still go about my daily routine in a normal way. Yeah. I think when I go to competitions, some people say, oh, are you going to break a record? And I'm like, I don't know. So, you know, maybe when I go to competitions, it may change things a little bit because there are more expectations now. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it changes my daily routine.
Speaking of the word expectations, what are your expectations looking forward now? You've kind of done it all. You really don't need to do much more. You can hang up your swimming cap if you want to, but what do you got going on in the future now?
Records are always there to be broken. And I would like to swim a race sometime and in my own mind think that was the perfect race. I had a nice start. I had a nice breakout. My swim was good. My finish was good. I would like to put together one whole race and say that was the epic race for me, because there's always something I look back on and say, oh, that could have been better and I shouldn't have taken that breath. So there's always little things that I can find that I have room for improvement.
Interesting. So when students come to you and they want to be in your shoes down the line, what advice do you pass to them?
Keep practicing. There's always things you can do to get better. You know, you've got to practice to be a swimmer.
In anything in life, really.
In anything. Yeah. But there's a lot of my students who come to school that can't swim, and they're like, oh my gosh, I need to learn how to swim. And I'm like, you've got to practice. You know, just once in a while, it's not going to help. You've got to get in there a lot.
Well, when you break your next record, You come back and tell me all about it.
Oh, okay. I'll do that.
After you practice a lot.
Okay,
Right.
after I practice.
Sounds
I'll
good.
do that.
Well, come back anytime. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Okay, coming up, we've got another record breaker to tell you about, this time a runner from West High. Roller hockey is a family affair. We've got volleyball, Torrance-area showdowns, girls tennis at North, golfing with the ladies at Torrance, and a WNBA superstar stops by Bishop Montgomery. Stay tuned.
We taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Welcome back to the Sports Desk. Lesley Robins here. It's all in the family when it comes to one co-ed adult roller hockey league, courtesy of the City of Torrance's Community Services Department. Melanie Chacon explains.
Lesley, when I think of roller hockey, I think of a tough sport, a competitive sport. And while it is a tough and competitive sport, it can also be a family activity. I spoke with the Takigawa family, a mother, a father, and a daughter, about their time playing together inside of the rink.
My son started playing first, and then my daughter. Then my husband started playing, and I thought, well, I can do this too. So then they didn't have a women's league here or hardly any women playing, so I started off in Huntington Beach. And then I tried to talk these people into doing a co-ed league, and that's how it all started.
It's been so much fun. I mean, we spend every Friday night playing here. My mom just started this Thursday league, so it's been great. And I used to have a cousin that would play on Fridays as well, so it's like a whole family team.
Isn't it fantastic we all can play together, though? I mean, we're not going to remember the times that we won or lost any games, but it's just the times we played together, that's all.
He has so much fun out there. He's like so carefree. As you see, we lost 6-3, and he's out there laughing and like trying to pass it to everyone else, not concerned with the score at all.
It's a lot of fun. Sometimes she can be kind of critical of me, so she'll yell at me and stuff, but it's all fun. I like being out here with my family every Thursday and Friday. We're really protective of each other. You know, if one of us, looks like we're getting hit, we go and yell at the other players and stuff like that. And I have a nephew that plays with us on Fridays too. And so we're all just, it's a big family thing. Well, it's just all part of the game. And, the guys are pretty protective of the girls anyways. As you can see, they back off on the women and stuff. So, but it never really gets rough to where we're actually going to get hurt. I mean, it's never happened to us.
Everyone is so nice out here usually. No one's ever tried to start a fight with us or try to hit us in any way.
It's just a recreational hockey. I mean, we're not playing for the Stanley Cup here. We're playing for our T-shirt. So, big thing is don't get hurt and have fun.
I try to make it to every game on Thursday and Friday. If I'm busy late working, I'll try to go in early just to make sure I make the games. I'll go in at 7 a.m., 6 a.m. It's that much fun, and it is very important for me to be out here playing with my family.
Now it's volleyball time, and once again, we've got two epic area matchups to fill you in on. Justin Thompson has the highlights.
Volleyball time at South High with the Spartans taking on the Warriors, two teams with winning records and a growing rivalry in the Pioneer League. And it was a hard-fought first set with neither team giving an inch, tied at 12 apiece after the first 24 points. But then South would go on a tear to win the first set 25-14. And the Spartans stayed hot in the second set, showcasing their power hitting. This time a 25-15 victory, so on we go to the third set where South just proved to be a little too tough for West on this outing, winning the third set 25-14 for a 3-0 sweep of the Warriors. Here's what the Spartans had to say after the team's big win.
West has always been one of our greatest competitors. We are rivals for as long as I've known, for as long as I've been in the program. They are a great team, and we always look forward to competition with them. I can't remember the last time the game hasn't been exciting, and it's always one of our biggest games of the year.
How good we hit is all based on how well we passed, and I thought we passed the ball really well today. And then our setters did a good job of feeding our hitters, in open situations.
Winning's always a great thing no matter what, and it's a great feeling to do it in our home gym against one of our biggest competitors, so that's a great feeling. We all are on the same page for our goals. We want to win the league, and then going into CIF, we want to go headstrong and keep pushing to accomplish new things and get better each and every day.
The West High volleyball team was back in action 2 days later, this time at home taking on the Tartars, and the result was a little different. An incredible first set from both teams in a battle that could not have been any closer. After matching each other shot for shot the whole set, the teams were tied up 24 apiece before West clutched out 2 consecutive points to come away with a 26-24 first set victory. After that, it was all West in this one, pulling away in the second set with a 25-12 win, and the Warriors did not let up in the third set, staying on top of it with a 25-15 victory to pull off the sweep against Torrance High. Just a massive win for West, who hadn't been able to beat Torrance for the last 4 years. Here's a very happy Warrior team after the game.
I think that our hitting was really good. Our middles got 14 kills in total the whole game, and it was really strong. Our passing was also better than normal. It was stronger, and we keep the energy up, and it was good.
Previous years, we've always lost to Torrance, so this was a really big win for us. Losing a lot of the seniors last year, we thought we were going to be have less of a chance than we did before. But, we beat the odds. They lost just as many people, so we really showed them that we can compete and that we can beat them.
And on the flip side, the Tartars senior captains see room for improvement.
What happens a lot on our court is miscommunication. So our team, we really need to pick it up, talk to each other, bring the energy, and get the blocks up.
Yeah, and we tend to get in our own heads a lot and then just separate from each other when we need to play as a team.
Girls tennis is in full swing, and we stopped by North High to witness the Saxons completely dominate the courts versus the Gardena Panthers 15-3. Congratulations to the Torrance High girls golf team and coach Sharon Carr. They most recently came in 3rd place out of 22 teams at the Long Beach Wilson tournament. And just prior to that, the team finished 5th at the Rainbow Invitational out of 24 teams. More accolades go to West High track and field junior Josh Murray, who just broke the school record, 14:32, in the boys' sweepstake 3-mile race at the recent Woodridge Invite. On this accomplishment, Josh's coach, Jason Druden, told me, quote, "We have been waiting for Josh to stop being a puppy and get off the porch and run with the big dogs. The Murray motto is, quote, get out, stay out, and on this night, he did just that." And lastly, we head to the Bishop Montgomery basketball court with the girls, where they had a very special visitor, Seattle Storm's and WNBA star Brianna Stewart. Of course, the Lady Knights basketball coach is Seattle's assistant coach and former player, our friend Noelle Quinn. And that is it for this week's show. We will see you back here next week. In the meantime, here are the social media stats. I'm at Lesley Nia. The show is at the SportsDesk TV. We've got email, Facebook. Be sure to keep in touch and take us behind your scenes. For everyone here at the SportsDesk, I'm Lesley Robins. Thanks for watching. Hokey, but okay.